Hey, how's it going, everyone? Welcome to the first ever episode of the Oliver Brown's podcast. I'm not sure what I'm going to call it yet, but here we are. I think it might be like Thinking Out Loud by Oliver Brown's. I don't know, but we'll figure it out though. But yeah, I know. Hey, listen. Did I say that I was going to make this podcast like 9 months ago? Maybe, you know? I'm sorry. That's on me. Sometimes things get in the way of things and stuff like that. But yeah, it's weird. I think I should probably address the elephant in the room, like right away, and that's where I've been. It's been like 3 months since I posted a video, and it's been like 6 months or something like that since I posted a YouTube video. And it's been difficult throughout this entire time trying to be able to post and trying to be able to kind of create this social media career outside of, my own life and everything like that. Today's podcast is just going to be talking about where I've been and the struggles that I've kind of went through in regards to creating and the lessons that I've learned over that period of time and essentially where the account is going and what I plan to be able to do with the account and all that kind of stuff. If you hear any noises outside of like me talking, that's just because I live in kind of like I live in the city, so it's always kind of loud, and it's wintertime and they're like shoveling the snow. But I wanted to be able to start off by saying, one of the biggest lessons that I learned over this period of time, which would be sometimes in life you can bite off more than you can chew. And in order to be able to be successful, you have to pace yourself and set reasonable goals and work on one thing at a time. As an ambitious person, sometimes you can believe that you can do a lot more than you actually can. You sit out and say, I'm going to do, I'm going to make 10 videos in, 10 days, and I'm going to post this. I'm going to get into contact with this person. I'm going to make this product. You know what I mean? And you can try to be able to go in this merry-go-round of just adding more things because you expect so highly of yourself. But at the end of whatever amount of months or days, you look back and you realize you haven't actually put in any quality time into any of those things because you've been spreading it out so thinly to, 10 different things. Oh, I want to be able to get my hair like this way. I want to be able to get my body at this place. I want to be able to get my money at this way. I want to be able to put in this amount of work into work and this amount of work into school and everything like that. And there's just so many different things that you're trying to be able to do, and by the end of it you actually haven't really done anything. And I feel like that's what happened with me in regards to the Oliver Brown's account. Starting out, I had so much ambition to be able to do this like crazy social media career. Like, I was gonna be like this, and I'm gonna have like all these different YouTube channels. I'm gonna collab with this person. I'm gonna make this media company. You know what I mean? I was really trying to be able to get it all in such this short amount of time that I was even on the internet, like, because I blew up so quickly, and I'll get to that, how that affected, everything later on. But I really was trying to bite off more than I could chew. And thinking about it now, like, I was trying to be able to do like, a YouTube video every 2 weeks, and, TikTok, I was trying to post every single day and all the other stuff like that. But essentially what happened is that there were other things in my life that it needed my attention. You know what I mean? I have a big family, and we're not particularly very financially stable. You know what I'm saying? So for me, in a lot of ways, I'm the breadwinner. I'm about 20 years old. So, I work a full-time job, and obviously working a full-time job and then also trying to be able to do social media is not exactly the easiest thing to be able to pull off. And that's the thing about like creating as well. When I met a lot of other creators, like, and it's no shade to them because I don't disrespect people who have my own money or their parents give them money, because that's just generational wealth, and I would do the same thing for my kids and all that. But they have their parents paying for their, their house, their home, their cameras. They have these like crazy $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 cameras and these editing softwares and whatever, and their school's paid for and all that kind of stuff. And for them, social media creation is a no-brainer. Like, you don't really have any responsibilities. And when I talk to them, you know what I mean? It's funny to think about. I was in a call with like a bunch of creators, and I was actually at work. I was on my lunch break, and I had told them like, yeah, I'm just at work right now. And they're like, oh, you go to work? It was like a shock to a lot of them that I like work and everything like that. And it kind of opened my eyes to the fact that like other people have, different perspectives on lives, and other people have like completely different lives. And most of the time, like, you can see it now with creators. If once you kind of notice it, you can see that some creators, like, they just have, these really nice houses at such a young age. And it just comes down to, their parents help them. And, and again, I'm not even disrespecting it. Like, I do the same for my kids, you know what I mean? And you make the best of your situation. But yeah, so for me, at the time, I was just spreading my time so thinly. You know what I mean? I was even trying to be able to do like my own personal social media, like with my face, and then build that up, and then have that with this, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna make this media company. I'm gonna get all these creators together and everything like that. And there was just so many different things that I was trying to be able to do. And by the end of it, it'd be weeks and weeks and weeks and days of me not posting and me not actually growing the account that I already had, essentially. I kind of, it's so interesting because even at that time, I was telling myself, or I was telling other people, this example I get from Minecraft. And, I'm not a huge Minecraft player, but I am in some ways. But I play a lot of survival Minecraft. Not like a lot of it, but in my time I did. And in survival Minecraft, if you ever played it, essentially, what I notice is if I would start a new world, and usually I go by like 100 Minecraft days or whatever. So let's say the first 100 Minecraft days, there would be worlds that I'd start, and I'd try to do everything. Like, I want to get diamond armor. I want to get a house that looks like this. I want to be able to get this amount of pets. I want to be able to, do this. And by the end of the 100 days, I'd look back at what I had, and I had like kind of diamond armor, but it wasn't enchanted. And I would have like a house, but it wasn't a house at all. It was just like a bed and like a little cave or something like that. I'd barely have any of the accomplishments that I originally set out for done, because I was spreading out my time so like thinly. I would only work on the farm a little bit, then I work on this a little bit, then I work on that a little bit. And by the end of it, I wouldn't have anything to my name. And this can happen in life all the time. And I was telling people at this time, you know what I mean, when they were going through their things, but for some reason I didn't take my own advice. I just would be telling it to people, you know what I mean? I would say within the last couple of weeks, I really kind of reflected on that and reflected on the things that I was trying to be able to do. Because for a long period of time, I was like, I can't do this. Like, there's no way I'm going to be able to get all these things done, And I feel like in life you could feel that way a lot. But as looking back on it, there literally wasn't any time for me to be able to get all these things done. And that's okay. Basically, I was looking at it, and I had about 7 things in my life that needed immediate attention and time. And I had to be able to cut some out. You know what I mean? I had to be able to cut out dreams. And sometimes it's tough to be able to do that. Sometimes it's tough to be able to be like, okay, I can't do this. You know what I mean? I have to not focus on this, and I have to just focus on these specific things. And for me right now, it's school, work to be able to save up money, and the Oliver Brown's account, and keeping it simple, keeping it to just 3 things in my life that are super like time attentive and take energy and thought into it. Except for work, I guess. But it's really helped me to be able to manage my time better, to be able to not stress myself out with like 7 different things that I wanted to be able to do and everything like that. And it's really helped me a lot, and it's allowed me to be able to kind of, space my time out. It's allowed me to be able to record this podcast and to be able to, create videos. I have videos that I've created, and I'm just waiting to be able to post them because I wanted to be able to do this podcast first. But yeah, it's been great. But I don't know if that explains everything as to why I've been gone. You know what I mean? I don't know if that explains like all the things, all the reasons why I've been gone. So I think one of the things that I wanted to be able to do is kind of start from the very beginning. You know what I mean? Start from the very beginning of the Oliver Brown's account. And, at what point things kind of started going south and, all that kind of stuff. So let's start out from the very, very beginning, the idea of the Oliver Brown's account. So my name isn't Oliver Brown. It's like that's not my legal name, but that's the name that I go by. So if you were to see me and you guys were to know like my legal name, which I'm assuming probably in the future you guys will, but you can still call me Oliver then, just because, you know what I mean? It's the one that's easily recognizable. Like, I'll still respond to that if somebody were to call out that name, you know what I mean? Because I also use it in my personal life as well. But yeah, so it started with the idea of essentially me and my brother, we were on the bus and we were just headed to work, about to go for our 10-hour shift or whatever. And we were just chatting about like celebrities and essentially the reality of celebrities, you know what I mean? Of how like, sure, you have all this money, but that fame doesn't allow you to be able to just go outside and grab a coffee, you know what I mean? They can do those things, but it's not as easily accessible. Essentially, when you become a celebrity, you lose the ability to be a nobody. And at the time I was like, at the time I was doing social media, and you know what I mean, and I wanted to be someone who's famous on social media. So I was like, if I like, do I really want that fame? Do I really want fame? Because for me in my life, I'm not really like a super like attention grabbing person. I don't want many people's eyes on me. I'm not like, trying to be that person inside the room. Like, the only reason why I do social media is logistically from the situation I am in life and the things that I like to do. I love creating, and I love, making videos, and I love, speaking about different topics and creating something that I find really interesting. And also, it's something easily accessible as a hobby that can turn into a career. There was just a lot of things made sense with it, but it was never really for fame. Like, I don't really care about like being that guy that's like, oh, you talking about, like, I don't care about being talked about. I've never been like that my entire life. I've always been a very secretive person and just don't really talk to many people and everything like that. I'm not like a quiet person particularly. I mean, I am a very quiet person, but when you talk to me, I'm very like open. I'm not like super weird or anything like that. No offense. I feel like that sounds weird. It sounds rude to say either way, but yeah. So it started with the idea. You know what I mean? We talked about it, and after that conversation, I realized, like, do I really want this fame? You know what I mean? If I were to be successful, I'd rather start from the very beginning, not showing my face and being anonymous, right? So that's essentially where the idea came from, and it just kind of clicked in my mind. So while I was at work, I'm picking boxes, whatever. I used to work in a warehouse, and I'm picking boxes, whatever. I'm thinking about it. You know what I mean? I'm thinking. I'm like, what if I wore a mask? You know what I mean? So I was like, okay, I want to wear this mask. I want to be able to like create a line and just speak the truth and allow my words to be, the main attention to things. Like, people would focus on my words rather than what I look like and the preconceived notions of how everybody has like, beliefs about an individual just by looking at them. You know what I mean? Whether that would be like racism or like, you're a young man or anything like that. So I didn't want that either. I just wanted it to be, the words and the things that I was saying, essentially. So yeah, it clicked. I was like, I'm going to do this account. And I didn't know what I was going to call it at the time. Essentially, how I came up with the name Oliver Browns was, I like the name Oliver. I think it was kind of unique, and it's not a very like common name, I guess you could say. I also wanted a name that was easily pronounceable and easily like understandable by people. And Browns, as far as I know, I don't think it's actually a last name like Browns with an S at the end of it. But it sounds like it is. So I just went with that, Oliver Browns, and I made the account. And at that point, I was like, okay, I need a mask. And I already had like things I already had written out. Like, I've always just been writing, my thoughts and like little post-it notes and stuff like that on like Google Notes and I guess now it would be like I don't know what the Apple one is called. I guess it's just notes. But yeah, I was always writing like my thoughts and stuff like that down. So I already had that down, and I just needed the mask. So this is a question that I got asked on Twitter, and a lot of people asked me as well. I got the mask from Spirit Halloween. It was Halloween. It was around Halloween time at this time, and I was like, I originally went to the store to grab this other mask. It was like this purge mask. I was just gonna paint it black. I liked it because it looked like African American, which now I think about it, I don't know why the purge masks like look like that. Anyways, it's actually a very interesting story to me because when I went in there, it was almost like this like surreal moment because I go in there and I find the mask, I grab it, and then one of the workers comes up to me and they're just chatting, man. I talked to him for like 40 minutes. We were talking about life and, talking about his son and how he's going to go to, UCLA to play, I think it was like badminton or something like that. And, we were just talking about what we're doing with our lives and everything like that. And it was super surreal because for me, like when I go into stores, I don't talk to anyone. Like I don't talk to no one. Like I just grab my stuff and get out, you know what I mean? I'm polite at the cash and everything like that, but I don't talk to no workers, you know what I mean? It's just kind of weird. So, I'm coming in, we're chatting about it, and I mentioned like, yeah, I'm starting this account. He's like, oh, why did you get the mask? I'm like, I'm starting this account and this is what it's going to be like. And he starts talking about like other Ottawa YouTubers that came in and they filmed this like, oh, 24 hour, like, in a scary place. I don't know, something like that. You know how those videos go, like 24 hours sleeping at night in like a spooky place or whatever. He was saying it's all stage and how he like put on a show and everything like that. He was a super, super nice guy. And And after I got done talking with him, I was like, I'm just look around the store a little bit. And actually, it was because of him that I found the current mess that I had. Because I was like, I didn't really want to talk to him more because I could tell he was looking for me again to talk to me. And I already had been speaking with him for such a long time. I kind of didn't want to talk to him anymore. So I went around the store and I hid behind like one of the pillars or whatever. And in front of me, the mask was there, and it's a Vega mask from Street Fighter. Um, and I painted it black essentially when I got home. And I was like, this is a dope mask. Like, it felt super great. It was easy to like talk into and everything like that. So yeah, I got the mask and I, head out. And yeah, it was just super surreal. And it was a dope story. If you were watching this, I don't know if you would even know. Like, there's no way he'd even be able to find out. But I don't know if you were the guy who was, I think, a manager at Spirit Halloween in October 2020, or October 31st, October, sometime in October in 2020, then I was that guy. But don't use the footage of that place to, or at least my face, at least right now. So yeah, that's where I got the mask, and I made the first video like the next day. I went out to this like a forest area near my home and started recording. Shot the shots. It was a bit awkward at first, obviously. I didn't know what I was doing. But I went home and I edited up the video. It took me like 6 hours to edit the video. I should skip work to do it. And I used my favorite song at the time, Pope is a Rockstar, which I'm glad is like, I think it's blown up on TikTok right now, which is super dope. I made the video, and after I was done, I was like, this is really good. Like, I'm super proud of this. Like, I'm so happy about it. And at the time I was like, I'm not going to get any views. I'm not going to get anything in regards to this. Like, but I'm so happy about it. I'm willing to put in this grind. I'm willing to just wait and continue to create, because I think this is something special. And I showed my family and everything like that. And like, this is super dope. Like, I did that and I posted it that night. And that night, I think it got like, like 5,000 views, and I was tripping out, you know what I mean? Because before this, I had a video that went viral. I think it got about 2.5 million views. It was like a joke video, essentially, on an account, like my own personal account. You guys could try to look for it if you want, but I'm not going to give too much description, you know what I mean? It's still on TikTok and everything like that. It wasn't like super crazy, but I was super happy about it. And then I was like staying up watching the video like grow, because it was going extremely fast. And I think within the first 2 hours I had about 5,000 followers. So I'm like tripping. I'm like, yeah, let's go. I'm so psyched. I'm so happy. And I actually start like making the second video the next day. And by that time, I think it has like 200,000 views. Plus a second video. Boom, again, it's going super well. Like, all the creators that I kind of looked up to and was like, I want to like be better than them. I don't know. I feel like, I don't know if it's toxic or not, but like for me, I always like pick creators that like, I'm going to be bigger than them. Like, I want to be better than them. And just because it kind of drives me to like create harder and try to be able to push myself to, be at their level or surpass them. So it was super dope to be able to have them say like they really found the video super dope, and they loved the video. They followed me, and it gave me a lot of motivation in regards to it. And, pushing. And the first video I think ended up getting around, I think, like 1 million views, and then the second video I think like 200K, and the third video like 400K, and then the fifth video like 1 million again or something like that. And I think by the sixth video or something like that, it had like the highest viewed video that I had was the Gen Z video with around 4 million. So at this time, I think I had about 200,000 followers or something like that. And this was all within the span of, I think, 2 weeks. So which brings me to, I guess, my next point, where it kind of went wrong and where it kind of all fell apart, was because of that early success. That early success really set me up to where I had, 200,000 followers on TikTok, but I literally didn't have a YouTube channel yet. I literally didn't even have an Instagram yet. You know what I mean? Because what was happening was like, I wanted to be able to continue to make videos so that I could bring in as many views as I could, but then I also didn't focus on actually making a YouTube channel or anything like that. So I had no like actual way of being able to turn any of that into revenue for myself and to be able to actually support myself to be able to do it. Because I live in Canada, so We don't get the creator fund here. I don't make any money from the videos. You know what I mean? Even though like 90% of the views are in America, but whatever. But yeah, there was no way for me to be able to actually make money from it. So, you know, I spent all this time making these videos, and by the end of it, I literally like, and then I think I made a YouTube channel a little while later, and put out like a few videos and stuff like that. But overall, though, what killed it was essentially like I started like too soon. So I was trying to do things that a person with 300,000 followers, at this point I think I had 300,000 followers, would do. I was trying to do things that a person with 300,000 followers would do, but I didn't have any of the resources or the time or the skills built up to do it. Like making a YouTube video and making a podcast and making a Patreon and all these different things that usually take a long time to be able to prepare, and trying to be able to sell clothes and stuff like that. Like all these things usually take a long time to prepare. And for me, I just didn't have the resources at the time because I was trying to be able to work a full-time job and trying to be able to do the Oliver Brown's account and trying to be able to do school and trying to be able to get my health into a good place. And yeah, there's just a lot of things that I was trying to be able to juggle at the same time. And essentially it caused all of it to be hurt. Like I just couldn't get anything done. And then just as you've seen throughout the entire time I've been on TikTok, there'd be times where I post like 2 times in a week, and then I wouldn't post for like 3 weeks, and then, all that kind of stuff. And also at the same time as well, I don't know, it's crazy kind of thinking about it, but also at the same time as well, I was really not, it was probably the worst I've ever been in my mental state that I've been in the last whatever amount of years. There's actually a video that I made. I think it's called, this video, literally, I can't watch it. Like, I can't watch that video because it literally triggers me. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, the video legitimately triggers me. Um, I'm like watching it, and it like almost makes you tear up every single time. As soon as I hear like the notes of that video, like the I write in cursive lines. As soon as I hear that goddamn song, man, in that video, it like literally gets me to tear up because I remember it brings me back to how I was when in that period and how I was feeling. And the video is called like what would you do if you hate yourself, or what do you do when you hate yourself? And genuinely, it wasn't exactly funny, but at that time, that literally was a cry for help. Like I literally was not in the right place, bro. Like I literally was not okay, man. And a lot of people were hitting me up asking me if I was okay, but obviously I'm gonna say I'm okay when I'm gonna say I'm not okay. I don't know. I just didn't really handle it too well. And everyone in my personal life's like, "Are you like, are you like?" It's funny. It's not even funny to think about. I don't know why I'm laughing, but I think it's just my like response to it. But they're like, asking me like, "Are you okay?" Whatever, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just made a video." It's anyways. But yeah, that video like, I think it symbolizes what I was feeling at the time. Was just a lot of regret, and a lot of it was coming from the Oliver Brown's account because I feel like I didn't live up to the potential that I originally set myself up for. You know what I mean? I originally wanted to be able to do all these different things and I hadn't. And there's so many things. I was just so disappointed with myself on so many different levels. There's a lot of things I was struggling with at the time. And for me, I'm not the type of person that really shows that kind of stuff. I've always been a very closed off person in regards to my emotions. I'm a very like emotionally intelligent person to where I can explain exactly how I'm feeling. When it comes to getting help from people, that's not particularly something I've always been good at. It's hard for me to like say exactly what's going on with me. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know. That video is so sad for me because it literally ended off on like, I literally didn't know the answer to that video. And the second video that I posted wasn't really even much of an answer. It was just kind of like, no matter what happens, I won't give up on myself. And shoot. Actually, saying that literally like you know how like when you feel yourself like your heart kind of drop, saying that kind of incites me because it was true. The truest words that I've ever wrote to myself was that I'll never give up. It was really beautiful at the time, you know what I mean? Just to know that whatever happens, I know that I'll never give up on myself. You know what I mean? I'll continue to keep fighting, whatever. And that's helped me through so many things. I feel like I probably would have given up by now if I didn't have that mindset of like, whatever happens, I won't give up. And essentially, like, what that comes down to is, I'm still in the same body. You know what I mean? Whatever I do and whatever I plead, like, I'm still going to be Oliver. You know what I mean? Regardless of whatever I do, I can't run away from my problems. I have to face them. and there really is no exit plan. You know what I mean? Even something like killing yourself isn't an escape. It's not an escape from like reality. You know what I mean? It doesn't end the pain. It just passes it on to those who loved you and who cared about you. It's not something I would personally do. As far as I know, I never really had like suicidal thoughts. And essentially, all of that led up to where we are now, where essentially like there's just been months without posting. Just because, to be honest, I kind of gave up on the account. I'll be honest. Listen, I'll be fully honest with you, man. Listen, man, I'll be fully honest with you. I like kind of give up on the account, just because I felt like it was too late. Like there's no way I'm gonna be able to like turn this into anything that I wanted to be able to turn it into. You know what I mean? I missed my chance. I missed my opportunity. It's over. But over the past couple of weeks, it was weird. Like I've gained like 2,000 followers, and there's tons of people who tell me like, "Can you come back? Can you make videos again?" and everything like that. And I'm super appreciative of it. And it does kind of remind me like there might have been people who watched or listened to the videos that I made and were like affected by them. Like they were positively affected by these videos and they helped them in a lot of ways to be able to open their mind and perspective and stuff like that. And I'm just going to leave that all away for what? Because I believe that it's all over. The reality is it's only been a year since I started. Who am I kidding, essentially? Like I need to step up and do my thing. And create again is something I've always wanted to do. I just kind of didn't hold myself to the same standard that I should have. That's essentially what happened and where I've been, all the different ins and out of it. You feel me? But now, I feel like my knowledge in regards to creating is a lot different. You know what I mean? My knowledge in regards to creating and what I need to bring to the table and what time I need to put in is a hell of a lot different. And I'm super excited about, showing that and being able to, take this new mindset, take this new time to be able to actually create really good, pieces of content and art and stuff like that. My mindset's changed. I'm a lot more experienced now. I know exactly what I need to bring to the table. And, I'm super stoked about the direction that I'm trying to be able to go in and the pieces of work that I'm trying to be able to put out. And I'm super happy about it. I'm also changing the direction of where the Oliver Brown's account is going. Essentially, with the mask that I currently have, it's not exactly it's pretty hard to actually use it. It's because I can't talk out of it. It's obviously going to be muffled just because there's a plastic barrier. But basically what I'm going to be switching into more is things like balaclavas. And I think that's what it's so funny with the balaclava, just as a side note, because I always grew up like knowing baklava, which is like a Arab dessert. And somebody, when I first heard of like a balaclava, I was like, I don't know, it was just confusing for me at the time. But probably go into more balaclavas, but in a way that I can essentially will cover my face, but not exactly still be covering my face, but not exactly wearing the mask. Essentially be kind of a slow process of introducing it more. And that's exactly where it is. But if you have a knitted balaclava, please hit me up because if I wanted to get that off Etsy or make it myself, it's literally going to take forever. Like on Etsy, it's going to take like 3 months to get to me. Like 3 months, bro. So right now I'm just using a scarf, but we'll figure it out. But yeah, I'm super excited about it just because I have more time now and I really have a better grasp on what I need to do and all the different goals that I want to be able to have in my life. I want to be able to answer some questions, man. Let's get some questions in here. Now, a while ago, I put that like questionnaire thing on my TikTok or whatever. But yeah, I really never answered them. But now I shall answer them now on this podcast. The question that I had on Twitter, like for some reason I can't find the tweet anymore, but there's a guy who asked, where did you get the mask from and what's your favorite food? Where did I get the mask? I mentioned it earlier in the podcast, Spirit Halloween. And my favorite food is probably, I could say pizza. I don't really have a favorite food, to be honest. Like I love literally so many things, sushi and, what I mean? Like, I don't know, Somali food. Like, I don't know. Like, actually, I guess like genre of food. Is that a thing? Genre? I don't know. Probably Indian food. I feel like Indian food is the most like. I feel like I love everything that they in like an Indian restaurant makes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think I could pick anything off the menu that I wouldn't like. You know what I mean? I just love a lot of spice in my food and a lot of butter. To bring it all. You know what I'm saying? The spices, the taste. It's delicious. But yeah. I don't know where I'm going to post this, but essentially comment down below what topic you want me to talk about. It'll be all the questions for the time, because I don't have any other questions. But yeah, thank you so much for listening and making it all the way to the end. I'm super excited about being back and creating again, and hopefully I'll see you guys soon. Peace.